questions with that? All right. Let's try this. 63 minus 2y minus y squared. Now technically you could leave the y on the end, but I noticed that the answer that this author gives is he likes to make the y positive. So in order to make the y squared a leading term, what we have to do is factor out a -1 from all three terms. So when we factor -1 out, it's like we distributed negative in. When we distribute -1 in, what happens to the signs of everything? They all change. So when we factor -1 out of everything, it changed the signs of everything as well. So the y squared is negative, now it's positive. The 2y is a negative, now it's a plus 2y. The 63 is a positive, now it's a negative 63. And change the signs of all terms inside the parentheses. Okay, now bring the -1 down. Gotta have it. Bring your parentheses down. Put in your y's. And now go ahead and find, put in your signs, put in your factors for 63. All right, go ahead and try the rest, finish the rest of that up. Okay, what are the signs going to be?
Negative, positive.
Good. Negative and positive, right? Or positive and negative, either way. We'll put negative and positive. Alright? Now, our factors have to add or subtract to give us our middle term.
Subtract.
They have to subtract, right? Our signs are opposite. Our C term is negative. We're going to subtract, right? So that leaves us down to just 7 and 9, right? So, since the C term is a positive, where does the 9 have to go?
Positive.
With the positive, right. The larger number's got to go with the same sign that the middle term is. 9 and 7. Let's check it. Okay, plus 9y and a minus 7y gives us a plus 2y. That checks. Okay? Alright, questions with that? You got to remember to bring that -1 down. Okay, without it, it's not a complete answer. Okay? And that's something that students tend to kind of leave out. All right. Any questions with that? Okay, the reason why I tell you to put the variables in first is for a problem like this next one here. We have an x squared minus 5xy plus 4y squared. Okay, we put our parentheses. Now, we know that the polynomial, the trinomial starts with an x. So our factors are going to start with x's. So we go ahead and put those first. Okay, so we know we have an x squared, so we know we got to have an x and an x here. And our trinomial ends in a y. So that means our factors have to end in a y. So we're going to put in our y's on the ends of our factors. So that makes it easy for us to see that, okay, that's one less thing that we've got to think about because we've got it written down. It's there. All right. The signs, what are they going to be? Both minus, right? So all we have left for our factors is 1 and 4 and 2 and 2, right? But our factors have to add or subtract to give us our middle term. These two numbers, are they going to add or subtract to give us our middle? They're going to add, right? They're both negative. Negative plus a negative is going to give us a negative, right? So, what pair of factors, either 1 and 4 or 2 and 2, are going to add to give us 5? 1 and 4. So you see how doing it this way narrows down your possibilities and your trial and error. Well, let's check it. We've got a minus 4xy and a minus 1xy. That gives us a minus 5xy, and that's what we need, and it checks. Okay? Questions with that? Bring this a little closer together. So that's why you want to put in your variables, your parentheses, put your variables, put your signs, so that all you have to worry about is that last step. And that's the step that students tend to have the problem. So if you can really narrow it down to where you can just focus in on that last step, you know, you're well on your way to being able to factor it out. All right, questions with that? So sometimes, this is an example where sometimes 1 and the number are the factors. All right, so that's why you have to write it down every time, because sometimes it's just